Nerf herders, listen up! Welcome back, I am Chaylo Laurino, and I play Captain Xavier on YouTube, and in person sometimes. This is the first episode of the Captain's Commentaries, which is a new series that I'm starting once a month. It'll be on Mondays, and it is to cover the sorts of topics that I didn't really have anywhere else to cover, but that people asked a lot. So there'll be some questions from the Q&A that get asked over and over again, and that I think are actually useful information for the community at large. Things like how to start your own Nerf club, loadout advice, HVZ versus Nerf war advice and commentary, as well as whatever other topics happen to come up that people ask about or that I decide to do. I'm going to start with the why I Nerf, because that is a question I get asked a fair amount in the comments of my videos, and sometimes it's people who are genuinely curious why I got into Nerf, and other times it's just people being trolls. And it's fairly easy to tell which is which, either from the way they word their question, or once if I respond, how they respond back. And if they're trolls, then I just block them, and if they're actually interested, then I can explain it to them. And a lot of it stems from the fact that the Nerf mod community is really a very small community. And most people have no idea that Nerf is used to the degree that it is, which is kind of interesting. I mean, Nerf is a huge brand. It's one of the largest toy brands. You know, it's up there with Lego as far as being hugely popular around the world. But most people still see it as kids' toys. And so that's one of the things they ask. You know, like, full-grown man playing with kid toys, what's up with that? Especially when they see me in my full heavy loadout, the full zombie hunter, the full heavy armor and the face mask and the minigun and all that. They see that and they're like, why are you doing this with kid toys? You could do this with airsoft or paintball or something. Why do it with Nerf? And it's really very simple. I do it with Nerf because it's fun. I got into Nerf originally through Humans vs. Zombies at the university. It's played on over 700 campuses around the country, as well as there being large national events now, Z-Town and End War and WVZ, and it's also, Nerf is used in a lot of post-apocalyptic LARP games, which is a lot of fun. I do one called Afterworlds, and so that's how I originally got into it, and I didn't get into it as a player, though. Most people, if they're students, they play as a human, or they get turned into a zombie and whatnot, but I didn't find out it was happening at my university until the very last semester that I was there, and it was too late to join. So the private security company that me and a friend founded, we contacted the moderators and said, hey, how would you like to have some guys in full tat gear show up and play, you know, an NPC Marine type character and make the game a lot more interesting? You know, we'll be there in all of our gear and with all of our tactics and all of our training and all of that, and it'll really add color and spice and make the game more interesting. And they loved the idea, and we had a lot of fun with it. And the game that they were playing was had a really very rich storyline, and so we really got into playing the characters. And that's what Captain Xavier has always been. It's always been a character that I play. I first started using the name Xavier in French class in high school. We had to have a persona, and we had to pick a French name, and I chose Xavier because it's got an X in it, and anything with an X in the name is cool. And I just like the name. And so when I then got into medieval recreation and I had to create a character there, I chose to be captain.xavier.commissions, a French mercenary and privateer who basically went around the world going, hi, my country sucks, can I fight for yours? And I had a lot of fun with that character. He was the bad guy that everybody liked. He was the Boba Fett type character, because I won all the tournaments, but I was an evil, unchivalrous schmuck. And eventually that persona that shell fell apart, and it became a good, honorable mercenary, and became very highly regarded. I was honored by emperors and everything. And so when I got into the HVZ thing, I just went ahead and continued to use that character. So now it's just Captain Xavier instead of the French version. And he was the leader of a company of professional zombie hunters, and it was a lot of fun. And so that's what all of that gear is about. It was never about protecting myself in Nerf wars because I'm afraid of getting hurt. It was always a costume that I played while playing this super badass zombie hunter. With all, my troops were also in all matching black, though none of them had quite the heavy gear that I did. But we all had characters, and we all got into it, and we really got into, playing like there was really a zombie apocalypse, and being all mean and stern and hunting zombies, and it made the game so much more fun for the players. And that they loved us. The humans loved us because we would stand and fight against the zombies when the humans ran away, and the zombies loved us because we would give them a stand-up fight when the humans ran away, and so, we'd fight until we ran out of ammo, or our guns jammed, or they finally outflanked us and swarmed us, or whatever. And so everybody was having a lot of fun with it. And that's one of the things that I love about Nerf, is that you can do that. You can be silly and play a character like that. And you can do HVZ on a large college campus with Nerf. You could never do that with airsoft or paintball. It would never be safe. But you can do it with Nerf. And then the same with the LARP, when I got into that, and I really got to play the character with foam swords and Nerf and all of that. And again, it makes it safe enough that you don't have to have a lot of safety equipment, and you can use the foam swords and the Nerf guns, and it works out well. And so I really liked that, and so I stuck with it. And I hadn't actually gone to any Nerf wars. I'd only ever done the HVZ thing. And then when I moved out here, I got invited to one of the wars, the Pan War, at Fort Borst, and that's where I ran into Walcom, and he saw me in all of my ridiculous gear, and he, featured me on his channel, and one thing led to another, and that's where I am today. And what I love about Nerf, one of the things I absolutely love about it, is that it's so versatile. You can do it with just little kids and have just stock blasters, and nobody's got anything modded, and the little kids are running around, and you can have an absolute blast with that. You can do super stock, which is still child-friendly enough that little kids can join in as long as they've got eye protection and realize that this might sting a little. And then you can go to the full ultra stock and have, heavily modified blasters versus other guys with heavily modified blasters, and the 5v5 leagues that are popping up. I love that because it gives the people that really want to take the Nerf engineering to the max an outlet for that, because you really can't take those kind of blasters to a public event, because most places cap it at 150, or really should if you're in a public park with kids. But the 5v5 gives those really competitive types somewhere where they can really test that and, train with a squad and actually get tactics and truly use those blasters to their full potential. In the wars that we have, those kind of blasters, even if you were allowed to use them, they're not going to be that useful because we do infinite res battles. So yeah, you can pop the person from across the field with your, dialed in caliber, but they're just going to take 10 steps back, respawn, and come right back in again. So you've done nothing. But in the 5v5 where it's actual direct elimination, it'll work, and you can have all of those different forms in Nerf. I also love that it is infinitely creative, because you can take the blasters apart and rebuild them completely, and you can 3D print blasters from scratch, and there's all these kits coming out now, and people sharing STLs and sharing ideas and posting it on channels and all of that. And I love that because I love tinkering. I've always been someone who loves to tinker with technology. That's why, Ire got to the degree that she is, that I just kept adding more and more and more features over the years. And I love that, and I love learning, and I love teaching, and so that's what my channel is primarily about, teaching people how to mod, and, showing the stuff that I've done, and giving ideas, and I read all of my comments because I get so many wonderful ideas come from the comments, and it's absolutely fantastic. Some of the ideas that I've gotten, and, people will comment, "You should do this," like, yes, I should, and I go right out here into my shop, and I build it. And then I show it off on the channel, and somebody goes, "Well, you should do this." Like, yes, I should. And off I go again. That's why I ended up with the Tactical Jolt, which is absolutely absurd and magnificent. And yes, Coop loved it. I showed it to him at Jared's Epic Nerf Battle, and he thought it was the greatest thing ever. And so that's why I got into Nerf, and why I stay with Nerf. Because it's fun. I can go to the wars and not care about the outcome. And I don't wear my full heavy loadout at Nerf wars. That is specifically for when I'm playing Captain Xavier as a Juggernaut role. When I go to just the monthly Nerf wars, I wear a much lighter vest and, much lighter arms. And I go to have fun because we do random teams, so there's no real, squad tactics or any of that. And it's usually infinite resurrection battles where it's like capture the flag or collect the MacGuffins or Titan Ball or something where you're really just there to have fun, and there is a victory condition, but for the most part it's just running around shooting at each other. And by the end of the event, you won't even remember which battles you were on the winning side of and which one you were on the losing side of, because it doesn't matter. And I love that, and I love that little kids can come and play, and I am planning to host primarily stock-only Nerf wars this summer, specifically for little kids. I've collected a great many blasters for that purpose, and I've acquired several thousand darts for that purpose, and the weather is finally starting to get consistently nice, so I should be able to get those started. And that's what I got into it for, because it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, if anybody is giving you grief and saying that, Nerf is for little kids, no, Nerf is for fun, and there is no age limit on fun. I adhere to the XKCD philosophy that since we're adults now, it's our turn to decide what that means. I also refuse to pretend that fun things aren't fun just because I got older. That's just ridiculous. So I intend to continue having fun with Nerf, and I encourage you to do so. And on the next commentaries, I'll show you how to start your own Nerf war. So if you're somewhere where there's no Nerf club, you can get your own started and start having fun and help us grow this hobby. So there you have it. Now you know why I Nerf. I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.